Alright, so I know most of the time these intros are meant to be kind of funny little bits to open up the video, but I did want to start this one off with something kind of serious about this current set of reviews, and honestly this show as a whole. Because I truly don't know who in the writing team thinks it's a good idea to promote the idea that a guy like Mark is just misunderstood, is just in need of forgiveness, is just a good guy deep down, he just makes some mistakes. Ladies, if you're dating a Mark or friends with a Mark, same for guys I guess, I'm just going to let you know right now, those good looks, the abs, do not change who he is deep down. He's still a douche. He's still going to hurt you again. And I'm telling you right now, he doesn't deserve your love, your attention, your friendship. Because unfortunately, there are just some people that will not change. The best thing they need from you is your absence. So please, please, please don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt your loved ones on the idea that a guy like Mark can change, because I guarantee you he's not going to as long as he still has you. With that being said, we'll get on to the review. Writers of The Flash, you. What's up guys, Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is The Flash, Season 9, Episode 7, Wildest Dreams. Really should call this something else. I got it. Do a little rewind. What's up guys, Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is The Flush, Season 9, Episode 7, Wildest Dreams. Because really, this should just be flushed down a toilet. Yeah, so they bring back another character that I care nothing about. Nia Nal, because of course, because we have to keep on these character stories from these shows that I don't give a shit about. And in this one, this is all about her. This is her story on The Flash, where she's not a character. Here she is. And we're talking about how she's getting stronger. She's becoming more powerful. The whole story is centered around the original dreamer putting her through a test or trial or something, helping her realize she needs to tap deeper into her powers and become stronger and blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? None of it makes sense. None of it matters. In the end, Barry's talking about, thanks for helping save my family. They were never in any danger. This was the original dreamer putting them through a test. They would have been fine. I highly doubt the original dreamer would have killed them if Nia didn't pass her test. But the thing is, what's even stupider about it is the reason Iris is there is because she's apparently doubting this Pulitzer, or the piece she's about to put out that's supposed to win the Pulitzer, because in her mind, well, I mean, do I even deserve it? First of all, we already passed by the story with the journal. We're done with that. We spent the whole first episode, or second episode, or both of them, on the journal. We've moved past that now. Why are we still talking about it? But also, you know the future, and you know you're going to get the Pulitzer, but you're not sure if you deserve it? What? That would be like me knowing that tomorrow I'm going to go out and I'm going to face off against a whole army of bad guys, and I'm going to take them all out. I know that I'm going to do that because I saw the future. And me sitting here going, I don't know, do I deserve that? I still have to go do it. You still have to write the thing that wins the Pulitzer. Just because you know what's going to happen doesn't suddenly mean, oh, well, I mean, now you don't even deserve this. And that's, again, what's stupid about it is she's approaching this now with a different mindset, which means she probably shouldn't win the Pulitzer for it. Because she's probably not going to write the same article in the same way that she would have if she didn't know this was the Pulitzer article, which is why this whole storyline is stupid from the basis. But here we are. If you want further proof of how lazy the writing in the show is, they literally have two scenes with Chuck and Allegra that are almost the identical. You got one where Chuck and Allegra are trying to dampen their fevers. It's not working. Allegra asks why it's happening. Chuck says, their fever keeps spiking. Oh, we better go get Barry. Well, what are we supposed to tell them? That it's hopeless? And then it ends with the two of them just holding each other because that does so much. But then the very next scene, it's Chuck saying that their fever's still spiking. Well, what are we supposed to do? I don't know. If their fever keeps going up, we could lose them. It's the exact same thing. The exact same scene almost. Different words, the exact same scene. You're doing nothing. You're just showing them outside just to get the audience to go, oh, we could lose them. Oh, no. But we'll move on to the other, even more stupid thing. I didn't think it was possible, but even more stupid thing in this episode. Everything to do with Mark. Because, oh my God, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. Douchebag Mark is back. Because he's out here trying to get Keone to do all the stuff he wants to do because he just wants to relive his life with Frost. Because, yeah, that's not a story we've ever explored with him before, is it? Oh, wait a minute. I think we've done this a few times now. And what's stupid about this is we repeat the same thing that's happened before. He makes a mistake. He gets all, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I guess I'm just not really sure how I feel. I'm dealing with a lot. It's such bullshit. It's such manipulative bullshit that a guy like him can get away with. And you want to know why? Oh, just, I mean, look at him without his shirt on, guys. Ooh, he's got the six-pack abs. Ooh. Like, that's it. Guys that look like that, apparently, can just do whatever, say whatever he wants, and he just gets away with it. At the end, Keon still forgives him. She still feels sad that he's leaving. And I just want to say this again. I said this before. When Mark and Killer Frost first got together. Ladies, if there's a guy like this who lies to you, who betrays you, betrays your trust, just because he's good looking, don't stay with him. I can't believe that they are actually promoting this, but that's what they were going with, because he betrayed Frost's trust multiple times. He was constantly acting like a douchebag, full of himself, convinced that she loved him, and kept telling her that she did. And he did nothing but betray her trust, and then suddenly they're a couple. Is this really the message you want to put out for people? Like, hey, as long as he's good looking, I'm sure he'll change. I'm sure there aren't people in real life that don't change, that are exactly like Mark. And now here we are again. Look at all the stuff he's done from last season to now. He worked with Caitlyn to try to bring Killer Frost back, even though they should have just accepted her death. It ended up in the death of Caitlyn and the birth of a new girl, Keon, in the process. And now he's with Keon. He's trying to get her to become Frost again. He's trying to force her into being the type of girl he wants her to be. He also teamed up with the bad guys, with Red Death, to try to help her accomplish her goals because he thought he could get to see Killer Frost again. And now at the end of it, what are we left with? An emotional scene where Mark apologizes. Keon forgives him, guys. And she's sad that he's gone. She might like him, you know? Because he's a good guy deep down. No, he's not! My God, how many times is he going to do the same thing and the show is treating him like he's a good guy, like he's a decent guy? I cannot believe just how blind the writers are. You wrote a character that does probably exist in real life and does act like this, and you're treating him like he's a good guy. This is the type of shit that guys like him in real life, they do all the time. I'm speaking from the experience of being friends with girls who've been treated like shit by guys like this, and they don't change. And yet, here we are. I just don't understand, because here's why I'm so pissed off about it. Because I've already accepted at this point, the show is trash. I've kind of gotten to a point now where I felt like I was just going to sort of rush through these episodes to finish out the season, because show is trash. They're not trying to not be trash. They are just basically diving in and covering themselves in the trash because they want to be trash, because I don't know why. I can't explain it, but they want to be trash now. So I've accepted that. But now they're promoting harmful messages. You think about what happened with Allegra last season, where she went off the rails, told a story that Iris did not want her to tell, and in the end she got a pat on the back for it. That's promoting nepotism. Make sure you work with your friends, because if you do, you can do whatever the hell you want, and you can get away with it. These are harmful messages that they're putting out there. It's no longer just, this is a stupid story. Nia Nall coming in out of nowhere. Iris dealing with her uncertainty of whether she deserves a Pulitzer that she saw she gets in the future. Like, those are stupid stories. Like, they're just dumb, they're not well written, and they're the product of minds that think they're writing something clever, but they're just not. But the Mark stuff is dangerous, because anybody that watches this and feels like they can relate to it feels like, yeah, you know, my boyfriend sometimes acts like Mark. Sometimes he's a bit of a douchebag. Sometimes he tries to force me to do stuff that I don't want to do. But you know, he does apologize at the end of the day. Every week or so, he apologizes for it. I'm sure he does it again, but at least he apologized for it. And the abs. So yeah, I'm going to forgive him. That's what they're promoting. That's what they're basically saying with this storyline. Because again, if Mark did make some mistakes, but he changed and he learned from them, then sure, that's fine. That showed he's a good person deep down. But he's not learning from any of this. He's doing the same shit over and over and over again. He's hurting the same people over and over and over again. And we're really just supposed to sit here and go, oh, guys, Mark's leaving the show? Are the writers really this dense? I can't believe that they are. And yet, I have to look at the evidence in front of me and go, yeah, I think they really are this dense. I really do think that they think Mark is actually a good guy. And I almost feel like there's a writer who knows a guy like Mark, and she believes that, oh no, I can change him, guys. So let me just write this Mark guy in, because this is what I want to happen with him, because in the end, he's going to apologize to me. And then I'll forgive him, because I know deep down he's a good guy. Like, that's the only reason a story like this I could imagine would even exist. I need to stop ranting about it. I need to move on. Can't spend this much time on every single episode, but I was just shocked. Whenever this was the story they ended on, that final scene too, good lord. The title card pops up at the end, and then they cut to the final scene, and I'm thinking, okay, so this is just Mark coming in to apologize, and they're just gonna be like, yeah, come on in for dinner because we forgive you for some stupid reason. But then it turns into this 3-minute long, I think it was 3 minutes. I just checked it real quick. So the scene is actually almost 4 minutes from when they are all sitting down at the table to when the scene finally ends. It's about 4 minutes. The apology actually starts about a minute in. So yeah, 3 minutes of them just dealing with the whole Mark situation. Does not need that long. It pushed me over the edge because I'm just so done with this character. He should have died. He should have died whenever all of the rogues attacked him because he betrayed them. That should have been the end of Mark. Why the hell didn't they just kill him off? Good lord. Okay. All right. Done. Moving on. Hopefully this means he's off the show until probably the finale. I just have to hope because I'm sick of seeing him. But we'll move on to episode 8. I'll see you guys there. And now episode 8, Partners in Time. So the Chuck and Allegra stuff, I'm not even going to get into because I've already made it very apparent how little I care about their relationship. So in this one, it's the Chuck drops the I love you line. Allegra isn't sure if she wants to say it back. And that's the whole drama. And of course, by the end of it, it all resolves. They're fine. Who gives a shit? But now let's talk about the main story in this one, which is the whole time magnet thing and all of the inspectors showing up, which all of them were just so ridiculous. Couldn't get into it at all. But what's funny is it at some point turned into kind of a whodunit. And the thing about it was there was 2 suspects in my mind. One of which was way too obvious. The other one could have been just a mistake on the writers/editing team part. So I really wasn't sure which one of them it was going to be. But it was between the one who it was and Iris. And the reason I thought it was Iris, maybe, is because she told Barry, have fun with the inspectors, bring me back something. And then suddenly she's at Star Labs. So unless I misunderstood something, it made it sound like she was just going to be basically going to work and then coming back home. So why is she at Star Labs? We never really figured that out. She was just there. And even Barry said, yeah, she's here. So I thought, okay, either that's an editing mistake or writing mistake, and they just decided Iris is going to be there for some reason, or that's a clue that's supposed to cue us in that this is actually the time person and she's disguising herself as Iris. But the other person that was on my suspects list was this whoever, what's her name? I don't remember. To be honest, such a lame villain. In the end, kind of gets what she wants. Possibly, probably, who knows? From the very beginning, she drops this massive smoking gun clue that even a toddler could pick up on. She's an electrician who doesn't know what a breaker box is. Are the writers really that dumb? They couldn't think of a more clever way to clue Barry and Iris in on who the bad guy ultimately is. It had to be that obvious. Like, I'm trying to think of another dumb example that I can use to describe it, but honestly, I don't think you can get dumber than that. It's even dumber than the whole cliche where the killer says something, or the villain, criminal, bad guy, whatever you want to call him, that's something they shouldn't know. I promise I didn't shoot her. How did you know she was shot? I only said that she was killed. Something like that. That's dumb. This is 100 times dumber than that stupid cliche. And I realized they were making all of them kind of weird, but all of them knew what they were doing except for her. Doesn't take a master logician to put 2 and 2 together and go, you know what? She's probably the villain then, since she didn't even know what she was doing here. She didn't know anything about her job. Everybody else did. You could probably guess who's the odd one out and who the bad guy probably is. I was just begging. I was begging throughout the entire episode. I was like, okay, it's probably not going to be Iris because she is talking about a lot of stuff that a fake Iris probably wouldn't know. So I'm going towards that was just a poor editing or writing decision. Please do not be dumb enough to have the most obvious smoking gun be what catches the bad guy. And yet here we are. I'm just blown away that they actually went with that. And honestly, can we find out more about the electrician that took her place? Because why was he wearing an eye patch? Kind of looked badass. I want to know more about why an electrician has an eye patch. Did he lose it while he was doing a job? That's something I'm supposed to know? Is that a reference I'm supposed to get? Or they wanted to get a cool looking electrician, and so they're like, yeah, let's get a guy who has an eye patch. I don't know. I have more questions about that, and I'm more interested in that than anything else that happened in this whole season, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, the most simple whodunit ever on The Flash. Big shock. The writers for the season are a joke. There's a part of me that thinks they don't even exist. I guess I should rephrase. Not they don't exist. They're not human. You catch my meaning. The only other thing, Keon apparently goes and has dinner with Tannhauser or whatever her name is, and we don't even see it. She just talks about after. I'm guessing they just couldn't get the actress that plays Tannhauser, so Caitlin tells everything that happened. Which there was a lot of exposition in this episode when it came to explaining the time magnet and how it worked and everything. So much talking and so much expositing. But yeah, I'm guessing they couldn't get Tannhauser to return, and so they just had Keon explain how the dinner went. What's really stupid in all of it, at the beginning of the episode, she's talking about meeting her and how she's worried. And Barry's like, look, I know you're hurting because Mark walked out on you. I'm like, hold on. She's upset that Mark walked out on her after he's the one that was acting like a douchebag. Like the way it was written, it made it sound like he decided he didn't want anything to do with the relationship anymore. That's a good thing for her. She shouldn't get mixed up with somebody like again, the writers seem to think that Mark is this great guy that Keon is sad that she's not going to get to be with now. I don't want to go off on another rant about it, but oh my god, stop acting like Mark is a saint. Like he's the idol guy that everybody wants to be with. Oh, I can't get drawn into it. I can't get drawn into it again. Just going to move on. This episode was trash. Once again, moving on. Episode 9. I'll see you there. And finally, episode 9. It's my party and I'll die if I want to. Clever. I once worked for a murder mystery company. The writing in the show was very simplistic. The jokes were very simplistic. That was one of the jokes we made. But yeah, this one should have been better than it was based on the concept. You got Ramsey returning. Don't know how he got his blood into all of these different drinks. Apparently everybody except for Chuck's, I saw him drinking out of a different, like he wasn't drinking out of a glass. So did he put the blood in the glass? Because if not, then somebody's going to have to explain how he got it in the champagne, sparkling cider, but not into whatever Chester was drinking. But instead we just go with, nope, he just didn't drink it. We don't even see how he got out of Argus prison to begin with. He just did. And there was no sort of warning, nothing to let Team Flash know, hey, a former villain of yours escaped, probably heading your way. Yeah, I mean, Bloodwork himself is not really that interesting of a villain. It's Venom, but I've seen Venom done so much better. Honestly, watching this episode made me want to play Spider-Man 2 again, because that game did Venom so well. This idea of wanting to cure the world with what he has, yeah, it's interesting, but he himself is not. His little blood brothers or whatever, not really that interesting. It's just everybody with kind of black lines on their face and black eyes. And then the monster he turns into at the end, I don't even know what the hell that was, but that was very poorly done CGI. But there's just so much about this episode, really dumb by the end of it. I mean, Oliver shows back up, should be exciting. Except for the fact that, I mean, Arrow ended so poorly, so I can't really say that I was begging for Oliver to come back. But apparently he can only interfere whenever the multiverse is in danger, because now, yeah, there's a multiverse again. Even though he sacrificed himself for there to be one Earth, now he's like, oh, that's what I did, but apparently I just created a new multiverse instead. Because the writers of Arrow obviously hated that decision, because again, it makes their jobs a lot harder. Because obviously they can't use time travel or alternate universes if they need to save themselves from whatever corner they wrote themselves into. So they have to have an ass pull, oh, well, we can just do time travel and then solve the problem. I think the one thing that did make me laugh is there's a point when Oliver's talking to Barry about what he did with the time his dad gave him, the extra time his dad gave him. And he's talking about, like, I wasted it. I went around trying to check these names off of a list. I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, that was a good use of your time, and I was wrong. No, you weren't. That was the most entertaining thing that you guys ever did on Arrow. It was all downhill after you stopped focusing on that, actually. It was just really funny how that was what he used to talk about not wasting your time, is all the amazing stuff they did in the first couple seasons of Arrow. All the great stories there, all of the entertaining stuff that happened. No. That stuff sucked. Then why was I so much more entertained then? The problem with this episode is I'm trying to pick out piece by piece the things that happened that I thought were really dumb. So I might be jumping around a little bit. I apologize for that, but Diggle bring Oliver's bow to Barry's party. Sentimental, but kind of stupid. Especially when he opens it and he starts talking about, I never thought we'd find it. Some days the grief just hits me all over again out of nowhere. I'm just sitting here thinking, yeah, happy birthday, Barry. Hey, you want to remember your dead friend? I hope you like it. Hope it reminds you of all the pain you felt in the past, and pain hits me too. Happy birthday, Barry. So dumb. You got the fact that Wally gives in to what Bloodwork wants and then kills Barry in the process and then opens up this dimension to all the other worlds out there. And the thing is, if Wally were more involved, okay, this might be more interesting, but he's not been. I can't remember the last time he was on the show, to be perfectly honest. And suddenly he's just back. this is what's happening. Bloodwork's trying to use him. There's no connection there because we don't really know Wally anymore. We don't know if he's managed to push past all of the pain he felt before because we don't go with him on any of these adventures. He's just gone. He's done as a character. Until all of a sudden, we need another speedster for some reason, in this case for Bloodwork to take over since he already failed in taking over Barry's mind. And so let's bring Wally in to be the guy that Bloodwork takes over. That's about it. There's nothing really there because of it. Chuck gets locked into a room with Bloodwork Allegra, and it's really funny because she's just like, oh, don't worry, I won't do anything to you. Starts to walk away, but I can't promise anything about my blood brothers and sisters outside. Why? What's the point? He's got control over all of them, so why is he not having Allegra attack Chuck? Why is he just, oh, no, I'm going to wait until the other ones get in here, and then I'll attack you. That way, Chuck doesn't go down instantly, because he would if they were able to get to him right away. If Bloodwork Allegra went after him, he'd be done right away. So it's just really stupid. It was just done so Keon could have time to come in. Out of nowhere, she has control of all of her powers. And then Oliver gives some stupid speech about how she's of the natural world and Bloodwork was unnatural, so that's why she could fight against it. Like, what? What are we talking about? How is she of the natural world? She was born from nothing. What's natural about that? We don't even know what she is still. It happened somehow when Caitlin went into this machine trying to get Frost back out of her and suddenly became an entirely different person. But that's natural, guys. That's the natural way of things. It sounds more like Bloodwork. Moving back to Bloodwork, I also forgot, after Oliver takes out all of his powers, apparently also took away his sickness. Why? He was already dumb enough that he shot an arrow into the portal, and then he has to spell it out. I erased all of your infection from all timelines, including you. That was already a line that was super dumb and expository, but then whenever Ramsey comes back, but now I'm going to die, my HLH will return, I fixed that too. Why? It's so dumb. It's such a dumb... yes, I can shoot an arrow into this portal. Boom. Problem solved. Then there's no danger ever. There's never going to be any danger if he can just solve the problem like that. Oh, we can only intervene whenever the multiverse is in danger. There you go. All the writers have to do is write that the bad guys are encroaching on the multiverse, and boom, he just can step in and solve every freaking problem there ever was. I feel like there's something else. Oh, right. Barry, his whole speech to Oliver talking about how Caitlin and Frost are both gone, but then he gained 3 years back of his life. First of all, the fact that happened to begin with was stupid, and the fact that this is what it's paying off to is he got a few more years of his life back, while Caitlin and Frost both lost all of theirs. Which, first of all, that was Caitlin's decision. She's the dumbass that put herself there. It's her own damn fault. For Frost, she was lucky to have life to begin with. Because when she was first born, she was just inside of Caitlin. The fact that she managed to somehow bullshit her own body because the writer just wrote that it happened, like, she's lucky that she had life to begin with. You gaining 3 years back? That shouldn't make him feel, oh, I just can't believe, why am I the lucky one? Well, because Caitlin's a dumbass, and Killer Frost was lucky to be alive. So you have no reason to feel guilty about getting 3 years back, which is stupid that happened anyway. So to me, it was just a line that felt like it was supposed to be poetic, but in reality, it's just stupid when you think about the ramifications of what he's saying. Oh, I think that's it, though. Sure, there's something else that I'm forgetting. The fight scene with Oliver wasn't that interesting. They gave him just a bunch of random dudes to fight just because, well, we have to see Oliver be a badass one more time, right? The camera work on it was awful. So all in all, this kind of turned into a bit of a crossover episode that just really failed. I'm glad at least that we got Oliver and Diggle, because obviously the crossovers we've gotten in the past few episodes, when you think about, we had Ryan Wilder showing up and then we had Nia Nall showing up. It could have been worse. Like, we could have gotten one of the bad Arrow characters, which were most of them, to be perfectly honest, now I'm thinking about it. But you know what, at least it was just Oliver and Diggle. Those were two of the better ones, I suppose. The first few seasons for Oliver. Diggle was good throughout most of it. Yeah, I'm tired. The show's taken a lot out of me. At least we didn't talk about Mark at all in this episode. That would have probably pushed me over the edge. But with all that being said, those are my thoughts on these 3 episodes. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on these 3? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all the good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Flash reviews. Also check out the channel. We have a lot of other reviews on here, so check those out if you have time. But until next time, I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.